The way you breathe, so quiet, so deep, pulls me into a world where everything slows down, and suddenly I can hear the stars sighing in the distance. There's something about the way your chest rises and falls beside me, and the stillness that makes my heartbeat forget its rhythm. It's not just air you draw in, it's life, and you give it back richer, warmer. You've taught me that silence is not empty. It's full of unsaid promises, like the way you look at me when words feel too small. Each exhale carries the weight of your tenderness, the comfort of your presence, and I cling to it like it's the last thread holding my world together. I never knew I could find a melody in something as simple as breath, but when I lie next to you listening to the quiet pull and push of your lungs, it's like listening to a lullaby written for me alone. It's not only breath, it's the language of you. You breathe, and the world feels safe. You breathe, and I believe again and forever in your breath I find my home. Every morning your breath finds me first, before the light even thinks to slip through the curtains. It's the softest nudge, the invisible way your soul touches mine, before your eyes even open. And sometimes I lie still and let myself float in it, in you, in that space where nothing is required but everything is given. I've grown to crave it, not just the nearness, but the knowing. The way you breathe when you're waking tells me your dreams were sweet, or if the night troubled you. It's in the little shifts, the hitch of a sigh, the calm of a yawn. I've memorized you like this. My favorite verses are the ones you don't even realize. You're writing in the quiet spaces between thought and wakefulness. I want to stay in those moments forever, not because they're perfect, but because they are you unguarded, you in truth. And in those precious seconds, I understand what love truly is. Noticing, adoring, breathing together, side by side, morning after morning. There's a certain peace that wraps itself around me when we're close. When our chests are in sync and I can feel your breath like a prayer whispered just for me. It's so intimate, that closeness. Not just skin against skin, but spirit against spirit. It's how I know we belong to each other. And I wonder, did I ever really breathe before you? Or was I simply inhaling emptiness? Now every breath you take colors the air around us. I can almost see it, like golden threads weaving between us, tying my world to yours. When we argue, I hear the tightness in your breath, and I know I've touched a part of you I didn't mean to bruise. When you laugh, it's not just a sound, it's a flood, and your breath comes fast and light, and I want to hold it in my hands. And when you're quiet and thoughtful, your breath turns soft and deep, like waves lapping gently at the shore of my soul. Your breath is the language I've learned to read with more care than any book, and it always tells me the truth. Sometimes I imagine that if I ever lost you, I would still hear your breath in my dreams, in the rustling of leaves, in the rhythm of rain on rooftops. You're so much a part of me now that I can't untangle where your breath ends and mine begins. It's not just biology or science. It's something holy, something that transcends logic. The way you breathe reminds me of everything that matters and everything that doesn't. I don't need grand gestures. I don't crave diamonds or roses. Just stay close. Let me listen to you live. Let me press my head to your chest and count the seconds between each breath. Let me know you're here. That's all I need. In a world full of noise, you are my quiet. In a life full of chaos, you are my pause. I find poetry in your breath, not just because I love you, but because it makes me want to live more, feel more, become more. You breathe, and I am whole. You breathe, and I know I was made to love you. When you sleep. Sometimes your breathing changes, and I can tell when your dreams shift. I'll trace your back with my fingers, not to wake you, but to remind myself you're real. There's a softness to you when you're unaware. A kind of vulnerability that tugs at my heart. I want to protect that part of you, the one that sighs without knowing, that stirs when I whisper your name. You don't even realize the music you make in your rest. There's something so grounding about knowing you're next to me, just existing, just being, and the air between us filled with the rhythm of your breath. I wonder if you know how many nights I've stayed awake just listening to you live. It's a kind of miracle, really. To love someone so much that even the sound of their breathing becomes a symphony. You're not just the person I love. You are the feeling of love itself, unfolding quietly with every inhale, every exhale. I remember the first time I noticed it, really noticed, the way your breathing slowed when you were around me. It was subtle but undeniable. It was like your body recognized something sacred in the space between us. Since then, I've caught it often, how you settle, how your shoulders lower, how your chest rises steady like the tide. It tells me you're safe here with me, and that's all I ever want to be. You're safe. The place where you don't have to hold it all together. Where you can simply exist and be loved. Sometimes when we're tangled up on the couch or lying under the stars, I watch your chest move and I think this is the good part. Not the milestones or the grand declarations, but this, just watching you be. Just loving you in the most ordinary, extraordinary way. I've learned that the way you breathe is how I measure time. Days begin with your breath and end with it too. And every second in between, I'm loving you in rhythm. On nights when we're apart, I lie awake and try to remember the sound of your breathing. The exact pace of it, the way it wraps around the dark and makes it less lonely. I replay the last moment I held you and imagine your breath brushing my neck, a phantom memory that clings like a second skin. I count the hours until I can hear it again, feel it again, be reminded that love isn't always in words. It's often in the quiet, steady things. I think that's what sets you apart. You love without needing to prove it constantly. You simply exist with love in your bones, and every breath you take near me says what your lips don't need to. I'm here, I'm yours. And that's enough. It's more than enough. Sometimes I think I fell in love with your soul through your breath. Gentle, strong, persistent. And every time you exhale, it's like a piece of you reaches out and anchors me.